open houses. We're going to look for vacant properties. So we have residential, single family. And we're going to go, let's see if this still is showing active. Yes. Area, we are showing Roseville, West Roseville. Throw that in there. 4 bedrooms or more, 2 full baths, right? About anything else except for, is it occupied? And so that's going to be under additional criteria. I'm going to scroll way down to the comments here. So close, so close. Showing instructions. Winner. Okay, so this is what we wanted. We want to scroll all the way down so we can see where it says vacant. Let me move my little screeny thing there. So vacant with lockbox, we checked that box, which is include, and we clicked OK. And then we said search. 24 properties for you, or 24 agents for you to call and contact and say, hey, I want to hold your house open next weekend or the weekend after. You want to push this out a little bit time-wise because you want to have time to market it, showing that you're going to be doing an open house, which gives you time to promote the day and time, promote some sort of benefit like, hey, I'm doing a drawing for, or hey, I'm going to do a XYZ at this event, or hey, we have a, I don't know, taco truck. I don't care. Like, however you want to promote it, but give you enough time where you could do circle dialing if you wanted to. We were using the Chicago title search tool the other day, showing you how to do that and get those names and phone numbers and such. But you want to have enough time that you can market it. Drop a, circle prospect, 50 houses around it, drop a little invitation. Hey, I'm holding this house open. We're going to have this happening during the event. This is your benefit for showing up. Bring a friend. Okay. So then let's just open one and see. These are all vacant, right? So I know where Impressionist Loop is. Let's grab this one. We could choose them all, but let's just see. This one is 3 to 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bath, 1,600 square feet. It's a smallish house, right? So who do you think the ideal client would be for this house?
Small family.
Yeah, right? So
like me.
Starter-ish, right?
Yeah.
They can do, current financing is FHA, so that tells us that the person who bought this house was probably a first-time buyer as well, right? Small lot, holy cow, holy schnokies. Look at this, 0.481, that tells me that this is like a 0 lot or very, very tight lot. Leased solar Tesla, walkable to brand new Nugget grocery store. I know exactly where this is. Okay, so if you wanted to hold this open, you would call this guy up or text this gentleman and say, hey, look, I'd like to hold this property open. It's been on the market 11 days. They may not be amenable to that, but we could go back and look for something that might be on the market longer. Okay, so let's go back and see.
62 days, right? The third one.
Okay, yeah, and this one here, holy cow, right? 140 days, they've relisted it. This one's been sitting there and sitting there. I bet this seller is a little bit antsy, right? Kind of an older model home, 1,900 square feet, built in 1990. Ooh, this is an older property, right? So established neighborhood. That's what you would market this one as, right? Okay, so same deal. We appreciate buyers, agents, blah, blah, blah. Now, when you're holding an open house for somebody else's brokerage, you do need to have some sort of agency agreement, right? Because you're going to be a buyer's agent in this case, right? The listing agent. So you're going to use the open house sign-in sheet, and then you're going to have that PSRA CAR form, which is the property showing thing as well. All right, vacant, blah, 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 super good. Yeah, this would be a good one. Now, here's some tips. We want to look at the map before we call anybody. Because you want to know that this is going to have good traffic. If it's in a gated community, scratch it off your list. Nobody can get in, right? It's a huge hassle. This one is in a good location. Junction Boulevard is super busy, right? So this is a pretty decent area. It is an older neighborhood, but Junction and Country Club is on the way to Wood Creek, right?
Yeah,
Baseline.
I know that way.
Yeah, this is a busy, busy neighborhood. So there's Americana right there. So there's a couple ways it comes off of baseline, right? So you've got a couple places where you could place some signage here. Looks like this one would get you in, and then this side would get you in as well. You could do a couple of signs going this direction from here off of
Mm-hmm.
baseline pointing this direction, and then over here, some pointing this direction. So you'd need, a good 8, 12 different directional signs easily. Um, but it's a good high traffic area. Baseline is very, very busy. Junction is very busy. You would need probably 20 signs for this one. Okay. Because you need to have 2 or 3 directionals at each intersection going. Plus, getting into the neighborhood, it's not a straight shot either. But I like that it's in a busy neighborhood or busy traffic pattern. So this should get a lot of traffic. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and then you could get a little closer. Let me see if I can do it this way. My lovely touchscreen. So then what you'd want to do on this one is you'd want to walk this neighborhood and do a little bit of canvassing, like, hey, neighbors, blah, 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 on Evergreen and whatever this one is, 13. There's these little cul-de-sacs off there too. Anybody that's like walkable distance right here, I would definitely go drop a flyer or drop a postcard or put a little invitation, handwritten invitation in their door.
Mm-hmm.
Here, like, hey, this is going to be held open. Here's, we'd love to meet the neighbors. You might have somebody who is looking, or you might want to move up. Never know, right? Um,
Yeah.
Come check it out. I mean, there's a lot of pictures here, but again, the idea of holding an open house is not to sell the house. The idea of getting an open house is to get more people in your database. It has nothing to do with the house you're selling, honestly. It does not matter. And I love vacant houses because, like I said, you're not displacing any sellers. You're not making anybody mad by being there early or late. You can do whatever you want. You can close this house up. The other thing I recommend that you do, and we used to do this, uh, is when you have an open house that's vacant, you also want to have a list of properties that are similar, some a little bit cheaper, and some a few more expensive that are all vacant. And you can post those in like the entryway on the wall. You want to have like a little shopping center, and sometimes brokerages have this in their window, right? Where they'll say, hey, these properties
Uh-huh.
are all open and available. Well, guess what? I can show you any of these properties this weekend, no problem, right? Sign my little PS on
Mm-hmm.
this here, and we are down. Um, because everything that's vacant is showable, and you don't have to go set appointments generally. Um, so anything in this neighborhood, the reason that people come to open houses is because they're already hot leads. Nobody goes to open houses just to go to an open house. No one wants to do that. So these people are already looking, even if they tell you they're not. And that's fine because, like I said, your goal is to get them in your database and set the next appointment, whatever that is. If the next appointment is, hey, I'm going to add you to my newsletter and I'm going to give you like a neighborhood alert for this neighborhood. So anything that comes up that matches your criteria in this neighborhood or in, West Roseville, whatever they're looking at, um, that you've got a way to add some value for them. Okay. So
Okay.
you should know that the property history, if there's any reports or whatever, you're going to want to see the attached docs right here.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, disclosures are available, right? So then you should be able to, I was wondering, okay. So sometimes people use Home Light. This one is Glide. You can go in and say, hey, I'm an agent and I want a copy of all of your disclosures, because then what I can do is I can make a little property binder, right? So that you have all the disclosures and people can see all about this house. There's 2 things that you're doing. One, you're adding buyers to your database. And the second thing is you're showing people how you list a property. How do you sell a property, right? So you want to have your own flyers and get in touch with Brad, because Brad with Encompass will help you market this. He'll do co-branded flyers for you. Front side, look at this beautiful house. It's so pretty. Back side, here's how you can qualify for this house. Here's some different payment options. All right. And here's how, like QR code or however you want to do it. Here's how I can get you more property. Like I can send you this whole property packet, right? Just when you sign in, I'll have your email and you can double check, because some people will write chicken scratchy because they don't really want you to send them anything. They don't know you, right? They don't trust you. And that's the problem. So they'll write like phone number 1112333. Like, what are you
Yeah,
doing?
that's what I do.
Okay. So then again, on the open house sign-in sheet, I probably told you this before, I'll send you this. I have just a very simple spreadsheet, and I just put on there name, phone, email. Do you have an agent? Do you want to see a list of properties with pools, or a list of properties on a golf course, or whatever it is that is specific to that type of property? I'll put something there, like, is this important to you, whatever. So they can say yes or no, because again, you're trying to weed these people out, or segment them into what is their purpose in coming. They wanted to see this house for some reason. Most people don't come just because there's a sign. Like, your directional signs are not enough to get them motivated to come see. So you really just want to kind of say, hey, look, I can send you all these property disclosures. Is this your right email? Let me just check that, right? Some agents will wait by the door and they'll say, I'll just write your email for you. What is it? Like, I would never do that, because I feel like that's like getting in their space and super bossy. My goal is to make friends. My goal is to make friends with everybody who comes through the door. So when they come through the door, I will greet them and I will say, welcome home. And they'll come in and they'll laugh at that, because it is kind of funny. Like, it's not their house, obviously. But it tells them that I'm not going to be a hard sell, right? I'm there to make friends with everybody who comes through the door. What brought you by? What are you looking for? Oh, does this check your boxes? Like, those are questions that I'll ask people. What's another one? Are you looking for schools? Like, what is it about this area that is interesting to you? Are you looking for good schools? Are you looking for proximity to a specific work, or business park, or whatever? Like, depending on their profession, sometimes they have to be near like a medical facility, right?
Yeah.
So people look in certain neighborhoods for different reasons. So you kind of want to just ask, hey, what is interesting to you about this neighborhood? They might say, well, like the last one I just sold, this lady wanted to be in a specific neighborhood because her sister was in that neighborhood, and her sister needed some at-home care, and she didn't want to have to travel far to take care of her. So it was important for her to stay in that one neighborhood, like within, a mile or two. So that's really it. And then just say, hey, look, can I send you a list of properties? We're not signing anything. We're not getting married today, but I do want to give you some information that will be helpful, right? Like, that's it. And again, right, you're like, look, we're not committing. I'm not, I get that we need to get to know each other. So this is just a more of a, let me show you how I work and how I can add value. I really want to help you find a house. Like, I know that's stressful.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, nobody wants to do this for 3, 4, 5 months, right? They want to pick a house. As soon as they know the neighborhood, they're like, find me a freaking house. I just want to be done. That's how they feel usually. And they could be, you have to figure out where they are in the sales funnel too, right? They could be way at the top of the sales funnel, which is like aspirational, like, I don't have good credit. Red flag, right? There's a way you can help them, because we already have that discussion with Encompass. I don't have good credit. We're moving to the area in the next few months. We're just looking around. We don't know the area. Great. I've lived here for 25 years. What are you looking for? Right? The more that you can just say, look, I'm just going to be a resource here. What can I send you that would be helpful? Is this your right email? Super. Do you want me to also send you some market information about what's going on in the market? Would you like to know, where medical facilities are? Do you have like doggy daycare needs? Do you need daycare? Do you want school information? Do you want, are you a golfer? Like, what is it that is important to you that I could send you? So that's really
Yeah.
it, right? That is how you kind of set yourself apart from other agents who are like, they'll see someone come through the door and they're like, pen's right there. If you could sign in, thank you. I have seen this so many times where you have two agents that are holding an open house, and they literally will greet you at the door, and then they'll go right back to their conversation in the kitchen. And they ignore you. You're like, I don't even know why you're here. Like, honestly, I don't know how you expect to make any progress with clients doing that. So when you hold an open house, it's really smart to have two people. One person to man the door and greet people. Welcome home. Can you sign in right here? Awesome. Thank you. Right? Like, this is what we do now, because that's what the National Association of Realtors tells us we have to do. We have to show who showed up. Second thing is, Egypt over here is the property expert. She can point out features, or go over the property reports with you, answer questions about the neighborhood. So those are things you'd want to know. And I know you live in this neighborhood, this area, the West Roseville, so you probably know the area pretty well, like the Arcona and all these other neighborhood associations, right? Like all the neighborhood business. If you're on those neighborhood Facebook pages and the little groups and such where all the gossip happens, that's information that's good intel, right? Like, hey, did you know that there's a Facebook page? I can connect you. Would that be helpful, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What do you think? So far, so good?
Well, you have to do it with two people because I wouldn't know who else to do it with.
Yeah, I'll totally agree with you. Yeah, that's my job. Yes, because the first open house, I don't expect you to know how to run an open house, right?
Okay.
That's why I was telling you to go visit other open houses and watch what these agents are doing. How many signs do they put out? What kind of documents do they place out there? What kind of marketing collateral do they leave out there? What are they handing out? Like I hand out I'll put like chocolate on the countertops, gummy bears, whatever, something for little people who are like, I've been at 20 houses today and I'm really tired and I just really want a snack. Like, whatever. But the reason that I put candy out there that has a wrapper, um, because I want them to stop and sign in, and I want to have a chance to say hello and kind of greet them and find out what their needs are while they're signing in. I usually put food by the flyers. You can also, if you know the property really well, I highly recommend that you go preview the property like a few days ahead so that you can put together your flyer with some features about the property that are special, right? Like this house right here, ooh, big 3-car garage, deep lot. You got lots and lots of grass there, so that tells me these lots are probably pretty decent size, but look at the lot size, it says 1425. So I kind of wonder if it's like a teeny tiny backyard. Like, can I get a pool back there? Probably no. I also kind of wonder, it doesn't look like it's on a corner, but from the picture, it looks like it's got a nice sized driveway and maybe even a boat thing right here. Like, I'm kind of curious about that, you know? So it'd be good for you to walk the property before the date of, so you know kind of what you want to say in your
Actually,
marketing.
looks like a boat is in the picture.
Yeah. Well, according to the map here, if we go back, it's not next to a park. It's near a park right here, but it's not like it's right there. It's walkable.
I see it was a boat in the picture.
Oh, there's a boat? See, that's what I was wondering. There's an RV pad.
Like
Boat
it
or
was
RV. And that's a huge deal for some people. Like they're all about that. They want to have somewhere to put their boat or their RV. And it's not so easy to find. Side yards aren't necessarily that big. So that would be something that would be great for this. See? So yeah. Okay. Meticulously updated. Yeah. Bed and bath, full downstairs, peaceful backyard. So, I mean, they did a good job. But like I said, anytime you're going to do an open house, give it a good week to 2 weeks prior to the date that you want to hold it open. So you have time to do the marketing, walk the property. Before you even call the agent, honestly, I would preview the property and make sure it's one you really want to hold open. If it's not in good condition, I would pass.
okay.
Have a property that's in pretty good shape. If it's not in good condition, honestly, I'd probably just make a little video and say, I got a, like a little quick selfie picture or whatever, and just say, hey, look, here's an investor special, and just push it out that way. But I wouldn't hold it open because that's not going to keep people in the house. If the house doesn't show well, they're not going to want to stay in it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And investors don't care. They're like, what's the lowest price per square foot? They do not care. Okay. All right. I'm going to stop recording here. Stop. Perfect. Okay.